That's good framing, right?
Mm-hmm.
One second. Wow.
All right. Matt, you're always here for entertainment. I'll fix the audio stuff in a bit. Angle looks good. Good to go. All right, Matt, are you still watching? If anybody can hear me, I just plugged the audio stuff in, so how is the audio? Cliff, what about now? If it's not going to work on YouTube, we might have to switch it over and go do it on Facebook. YouTube kind of has some weird control over it. It does weird things. There's actually a bit of a delay as well. Sound is good. It's kind of a bit of a delay though, which is kind of weird. It's only a few seconds. Well, I haven't put it on Facebook yet. If Facebook is a better solution than YouTube, we'll just go back and do it on YouTube. We did the last one on Facebook. We'll just go back and do this one on Facebook as well. So it's such a big delay. Well, Leroy, I see the delay. You guys might not see the delay, but I'll talk and then it'll take 5 or 6 seconds maybe, and then it shows up. But if it's not bad and it's working well, we'll just keep it here. Social distancing, man. You can't drive over here. The county will come shut us down. Okay, well that's good stuff then. If that's the case, we'll just leave it here. We'll probably make some changes to this in the future. I've been considering investing into like a better option to do this live streaming stuff more often, but I wanted to see how it goes. Obviously, this will be a new thing. Where's everybody at? What's everybody doing right now? Was it Friday night, right? We were supposed to do this seminar at Broxton's, so we decided to, well, we were pretty much forced to cancel that event because there would have been more than 10 people, plus you had to sit 6 feet apart, and that would have been chaotic. So we decided to just turn it into a questions and answers seminar, and really we'll wait another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll let some people trickle in. We did do the last one on Facebook, and there was a bunch of people in that one. I don't know how the YouTube one will do. I don't really expect a super large turnout, but we'll see how it does. We'll go from there. I got the iPad down here so I can see the conversation. So, I can watch myself and see the conversation, I guess. Hey Heath, yeah, I'm ready for the beach to be open too. It's kind of crazy with the local pier being closed. Now I heard that Pensacola and Okaloosa pier was still open. There are like boats parked around the Navarre pier trying to fish. I saw a photo of it, which was crazy to see. But yeah, definitely ready for the beaches to be back open. Ideally, it would be nice if some tourists showed up too, because we're supposed to be running fishing trips, so we're really not running too many. So who's actually going to work and who has been told to work from home? That's actually pretty interesting. Uh, it's kind of been weird. There's not been a lot of traffic on the roads the last few days. Obviously, there's not a lot of tourists here, but everyone's working at home. I don't know. It's just weird. Just weird. The whole town looks weird. We'll give it a few more minutes. We'll give it to about 6:05, and then we will start the seminar slash questions and answers series. Obviously, we were supposed to do a thing about spring fishing, but since we can't get the Broxtons, we're not going to be able to do that. Guess we're forced to follow those no more than 10 people rules. Where's home at, Kev? Where you live at? You live in Florida? Oh, nice. Tim, you can work from home all the time. You work from all over the place. That doesn't count. Not doing anything, Josh? You've been painting all kinds of lures. What are you talking about? Every 5 minutes, I get a different color lure sent to me. Hey Tim, where you gotta go take those videos this week, or you gotta do some traveling to take those videos? Man, Cliff, I'm sorry to hear you got laid off, man. It's I feel like there's a lot of people in the same situation with that stuff. Obviously, our business, we ain't running any fishing trips, right? I think we're on track to hit like 10% of them. So that is unbelievable. Far from expected, but yeah, it's a sad reality for the majority of the nation. Um, we can still fish here. Most of the places here we can still fish, but we can't get to the beaches, so we couldn't launch the kayaks. Now the weather's been pretty bad off the beach anyways, so not too big of a deal. But our local pier is closed. All the national parks are now closed, so we can't launch. We can't do anything in those areas, which we don't really do anything in those areas anyways. But it's crazy to see, that's for sure. Hey Matt, what's up, man? Outside of Atlanta, gotta do a little bit of traveling then, Tim. That's not too bad. Birmingham to Atlanta, not bad. We do still have the sound. We fished the sound the other day. The fishing was good. We also did a trip out towards Niceville. What was that? Was that yesterday? My days mixed up a lot. We did a trip out towards Niceville. Ended up, the two of them took home, four 18.5-inch trout and a 23 or 24-inch redfish. So it was a pretty good day. It was a learning trip. They learned a lot, so went well. Yeah, Josh, I agree. I've not been going fishing a lot. I've been doing our fishing trips, but I haven't been actively trying to go fishing because there's just so many people on the water because no one's at work. So I've just been hiding at my house. That's it. There's too many people on the water, so I've been just trying to stay away from it. Wait, Matt, are you working from home too? Kind of, sort of. I think I saw you post a picture of your coworker, being your dog. So, mission essential. I'm not mission essential, okay? By any means. That's funny. The fish don't care about me all that much, that's for sure. They don't miss me. No, just kidding. What we gonna talk about today? Now we were supposed to talk about inshore fishing. It was like tacking spring. Maybe that's usually the one we do in the spring. How messed up is that? I can't remember what the event was about. That's how crazy the week it's been. The week has been all over the place. But I'm just gonna answer questions. Got a few more minutes to go, but there's a few people in here. I didn't really expect to have the greatest turnout on YouTube. Obviously, most of our business traction comes from Facebook in the form of engagement, anyways. So, but I kind of wanted to do it on YouTube to see how the program worked. Yeah, it is kind of like riding a roller coaster. Pretty much impossible to know what's accurate, what's not accurate. I don't even know anymore. Uh, we have had some people I know who have got sick, or like family members of them who got sick, and I don't wish that stuff upon anybody. I don't want anybody to get sick. Just want it to go away so all of our lives can go back to normal, right? Which that's wishful thinking. Yeah, I got some hand sanitizer over there in case we need it. But there's no one in the room, so it's just me, so we're good. Social distanced out. I think one thing we should talk about today is sand gnats. Now, you guys don't know to see it, but I got ate alive the other day. Like, my hands got ate to death. Look, they had bug spray. There was not much wind at all for the first 2 hours of the fishing trip, and we all got ate to death. Like, I usually don't get bothered by them. Like, these are not that bad. We fish all over the place, usually whatever, no big deal. But those little sand gnats ate me to death the other day. It was ridiculous. I didn't bring my face shield. It's March. It's supposed to be cold still. It's too hot outside, and there were just gnats all over the place. It was miserable. I hate to hear that, Tim. It kind of stinks, man. There's really no plan for New York. I think I've just seen it just been on lockdown. They've been on lockdown for the first state or first city to go on lockdown, which is crazy to see. All right, 6:05. We're gonna get into the fishing questions. All right, so Kevin asked a question. Well, you guys can probably all see it, obviously, about jig speed, jigging pattern, slow, fast, aggressive, or soft. Are we talking about inshore? Are we talking about inshore? I'll just assume that we are talking about inshore and go from there for now. If it's offshore, we'll talk about that too. But I like to keep things simple, right? My whole thing is keep things simple. So my question is, yeah, reds and specs. So my question is, or my thought process is, have you ever seen a bait fish in the middle of summer slow down if it's about to get eaten? Better yet, in the middle of winter, doesn't matter. If a bear is going to chase you, you're going to run for your life, right? So if you want that bait to appear as natural as possible, you need to present it as natural as possible. Now, if you're fishing a soft jerk bait or a fluke style bait, yeah, you're mimicking a dying fish, right? Twitch, switch, pause, it kind of glides, then yes, perfect. Slow it down a little bit, work it real fast, and then kill it. But if you're working a jig with a 3-inch paddle tail or a stick bait or anything like that, you want to keep it moving as fast as possible because a fish is keyed in on it because it's running for its life and it's focused on it, right? I tell all the clients that redfish are like, they have like ADHD, right? So the top water. As soon as you quit working the top water, they'll just turn and swim away. You have to keep them interested. If you pause it, and that's not why they were chasing it, they won't eat it. So once you find the correct cadence, keep that cadence, continue going, don't slow down. I'll tell you that I fish really, really fast. I have always, because my goal is to cover water and then find fish. And that's how we find a lot of quality fish. And we'll go through a lot of little fish, but if I'm catching a 12-inch trout, I'm not gonna keep catching them. My goal is not to catch 12-inch trout, right? I ain't putting them on a measuring board. I ain't taking pictures with them. I'm gonna move instantly to find better fish. So I work the lure fast. Not saying that it is the best answer for everybody. It will wear you out. It will tire you out. Sometimes my wrist hurts sometimes from just going so fast. Right? You're not gonna stop. So keep the jig moving quickly. My rule of thumb on it is you should be able to use as much weight to keep it just above the grass. So you should have to work it fast enough that it stays just above the grass with the amount of weight you're using. So I used to fish the sound with the 5/16 ounce jig head all the time, and I would just burn that thing. I would never stop it. Cast it full speed with the bait caster. The bait caster is way faster than spinning reel, and I would just burn up a whole bunch of water. So remember, the bait fish is running for its life. Mimic that. You want a reaction strike. You know, you're not always going to find feeding fish, so you want to get that jig moving full speed across the pothole out there in the grass. Trout's laying there, jig comes flying by, just like a minnow. That fish is like whack, hits it full speed, doesn't even look at it, doesn't even realize what he just did or she just did. Boom, she's hooked up, and then you just gotta get her in the net. So yeah, I would go fast before I go slow. Now in the wintertime, you can get away with going a lot slower, mainly because the bait fish are behaving differently. Spring, summer, fall, you better move that thing just as fast as you can while keeping it in the strike zone. So if you have an 1/8 ounce bait or 1/8 ounce jig on there and you're going real fast and the lure's skipping across the surface, that may not be where the fish are. The fish may be laying down in that grass in 3 or 4 feet of water. Add more weight and get that lure down there. That's a good question though. Good question. First question the clients always ask is, how do I use a lure? Am I doing something wrong? Typically they're not, but it's a question that comes up every time. No problem, buddy. Who else has a question about that stuff? The whole idea of this is to answer your guys' questions, so just get a fire from the hip. All right, Cliff wrote, any opinion on why top water lures can work all day in some states, areas, opposed to early and late in the day? All right. We have a whole clothing line that we sold years ago about always throw top water, and that's because you can throw it any time of the day. Okay, it's like if you're still seeing bait activity on the surface, throw the lure. Like I got this thing I see people all the time. You can't throw it in the middle of the day. I have caught some amazing fish at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day throwing top water. There's no rule for that stuff, man. That's like, you know, I feel like half of the stuff that you see or read, half of the content of any topic you see or read was just written for clicks, right? We throw top water all the time without any kind of issues all day long. Even yesterday, so we started off fishing some pretty shallow water. There was bait pushed up against this bank. Was beautiful. With the clients, they were learning. We slid up in there, we threw the jerk bait, right? Soft jerk bait, weedless presentation, 5/0 hook, caught some quality fish. But then the sun started coming up, the bait pushed off the beach into some deeper water. Luke wasn't having great luck with the soft jerk bait, so he put the top water in, and within just a few casts, he had a very large trout blow up on it. He didn't catch it. It was right next to the kayak. It was unfortunate. But it was the middle of the day, the sun was out, and I just caught an 18.5-inch trout right there with him on top water. It was easily 9:30, no clouds, sun up in the air, birds flying everywhere. The bait slid off the beaches, got a little bit deeper. Man, you can throw top water. If you see a mullet jumping, that's top water activity. You see menhaden or raindrop minnows or anything on the surface, throw the top water. Throw the top water. Yes, you're going to weed out a lot of fish. You may not get as many bites as you would have if you would have thrown a jerk bait or a soft plastic, but who cares? You know, we had a talk yesterday. I was talking with Chris, a buddy of mine, Chris, about at this point in my life, the coolest thing that I like to watch is the fish eat the lure. I don't care about even landing them. Like I don't even care about landing the fish. I told Josh I might start using barbless hooks because watching that fish explode on top water, first thing in the morning, middle of the day, late night, evening, whatever, in the lights, it is an awesome thing to see, and I throw it all day long. Yeah, aggressive fish don't care. That's really the point. You can really weed out the little fish. I'm not out there trying to throw top water to catch a 14-inch trout or a 10-inch redfish. I'm out there trying to catch a quality fish just to watch them blow up on it. So yeah, throw top water. That whole thing about I can't do it in the middle of the day, I don't know. That's some crazy stuff. Maybe it's a bass fishing thing, okay? But I'm telling you right now, redfish and trout do not care. Caught some awesome fish in the middle of the day. What other kind of questions we got? I'm sure if you have a question, someone else is thinking it too, and then you might as well ask it. Kevin loves his skitter walk. What else kind of top water does he like to throw? Obviously, I like to throw my jackal. I like to throw my jackals. Awesome lure. I love these things. Little Jackal Bonnie 95. Been throwing for a long time. They're amazing. All right, Moto Mojo. What are you using to get an accurate tide time for the Navarre Sound? Seems like everything I've tried is always way off for Navarre. Thanks. Okay, initially I'm going to tell you, I don't really care about the tide. Now that sounds terrible. I don't really care about it, okay? But I do use tidesforfishing.com. If you go in there under the West Coast section, you'll be able to find Navarre or Pensacola or Destin. You can use any of them. What I'll tell you to do is you just need to get used to, which one is what. Okay, so pick one and stick with it so you know the reference. Like if you're going to use Pensacola and you see that it's supposed to be high tide at 12 o'clock and you go out there and it's, maybe it's 1 p.m. and the tide is just now at full high tide, well, now you know it's an hour different. If you keep using different resources, you're never going to find a consistent answer. So I use tides for fishing. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know the name of it. It definitely says Santa Rosa Sound. I think it's called Santa Rosa Sound. And there's a bunch of different points. You really go in there and you can really fine tune it to what you want. But pick one, stick with it, and you'll find a consistency there. The Santa Rosa Sound tide stuff is really wind driven, okay? We can go into some more details about that if you guys want. But the wind has a lot to do with what the tide is doing in the sound. And it takes a ton of time of being out there and finding a pattern, finding a quality answer to it. What kind of top water do you guys like to throw? Kevin likes his skitter walk. I have no idea, Leroy. Leroy asked, what's the best insect spray that won't funk up the lure's bait or scare fish away? I'll be honest with you, I don't ever use any kind of bug repellent. One, I always wear pants and I always wear a long sleeve performance shirt, right? All summer, doesn't matter how hot it is. So I don't really have any problems with bugs. They can't really get to me anywhere. Obviously, I wear my Crocs, so my feet are pretty well protected. I don't wear gloves. My hands got bit up pretty bad. Thermocell would work. I just talked about that with the clients yesterday about, man, I wish I had my Thermocell. This is one more thing to carry, and really, I don't really fish anywhere where the bugs are going to be that bad. It was just we went somewhere as a learning experience for some people who live out in Niceville, and well, the bugs were bad, but the fish were biting, so you kind of just deal with it. Super Spook? I got some Super Spooks and bone. It's a great bait. It's always been a great bait, right? I just like how noisy the Bonnie is. Josh's favorite top water is a swim bait. He put jerk bait. He wrote jerk bait. I like throwing all lures, man. I like catching the fish a whole bunch of different ways. Dude, the jerk bait, I love fishing the jerk bait. Like, the jerk bait fishing is fantastic. Once you figure it out and get used to it, it's killer. What other questions we have about that stuff? Really gonna let this stuff just go based on your guys' questions. we can pick whatever topic you want to talk about. Figured it was easier just to open this stuff up to questions and answers. That way you guys get exactly what you want to hear, and I don't just sit here and ramble for an hour and a half. Colors versus water conditions. We live in a place with super clear water. So I'm going to put this out there with bait fish do not change colors. Doesn't matter if it's dark outside, doesn't matter if it's bright outside, doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's cloudy. It just doesn't matter. Bait fish do not change color. Now, over in places, okay, so I would use a noisier lure, a lure that provides more vibration or sound before I ever considered changing color. That's it. They have a lateral line. They can feed at night when it's pitch black. Some of these fish do feed primarily at night, especially when the tide is falling. There's big fish or ambush predators. They have no problem finding fish. Okay, like zero problem finding bait fish. So I don't really care about the colors. That's why I'm a terrible lure salesman, right? I was in Broxton's, multiple times, right? But the other day, a guy asked me, "Hey, what color soft plastic should I get?" He had no idea that we made the soft plastics that were right there. I handed him one pack of lures, one color, said, "Hey man, this is all you need," blah, 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 blah. He's like, "Oh, why about the rest of these colors? Why do I need the rest of these colors?" Like, you don't need the rest of those colors. People use colors because they are based on confidence. If I handed you an all black lure and you went out and you stuck a quality redfish on it that day, if I told you, "Hey, go fish for the next 6 hours on this stretch of water, use only this lure." As soon as one of those fish hit that thing, you would be like, "Boom, I love this color. This is a great lure," right? But that has nothing to do with the bait. You were just in the right place at the right time. We aren't fishing in freshwater ponds or freshwater lakes. So you think about bass anglers, right? This is one of the biggest problems. I grew up in Ohio, so I was a bass angler, right? You were taught, and your thought process is, let me go out and let me go to this different body of water. Man, my buddy fished here yesterday. He was catching them on a green and yellow, or whatever, a sexy shad, this crankbait, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a lot of shad in that lake. My buddy was at this lake. He was catching them on a crawfish pattern. There's a lot of crawfish in that lake. You're fishing in a saltwater environment. There are 1,000 different species of forage. A redfish or a trout doesn't have time to be like, you know what? I don't remember seeing that color yesterday. Or I don't remember seeing that exact shape 2 days ago. They're just gonna eat it. They're just gonna swim up there and they're gonna eat it because they have to. It's how they survive. So color, it don't matter. It does not matter. Like, I'm telling you right now, color sells lures. Color is a marketing thing to sell lures. You're not fishing in a freshwater pond that was stocked with one variety of bluegill, right? Just don't buy into it, man. Especially here. We fish the same color soft plastic all year. Okay, look. When this business first started, we used a ton of matrix shad, little UV swim baits. We stopped using them for a variety of reasons, but we use that same color, one color, all year on every inshore fishing trip. Never changed the profile, never changed the jig head weight, never changed anything. Everyone caught quality fish. We fished every tide, every weather condition, every clarity of water we have in the area. Never changed the lure because we knew where the fish were, we knew how they behaved, and we caught the fish based on what they were doing and not off of a marketing video or magazine, right? The original Rapala floater. You know why the original Rapala floater still works, Tim? Because the fish don't care and fish don't know they made a new one, alright? That's all it comes down to. How do you catch a sailfish? Kevin, did that answer your question about the general color stuff and watercolor and lure color? Obviously, pretty adamant about it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. That's the short answer. How do I catch a sailfish? You go fishing when there are sailfish off of Navarre Beach, or you drive down south as far as you can get just about, and then you go fishing, okay? It's mostly luck. You can obviously prepare correctly, but it's mostly luck. We'll go into that offshore stuff. What other questions about inshore? Cliff. So basically, most of us are overthinking the lure selection stuff. You're overthinking it because you spend so much time just looking at ways to get better, when really the only way to get better at fishing is by going fishing. You can buy new rods, new reels, new kayaks, new boats, new everything, but the only way to get better at it is by going fishing, because, you know, people will look and be like, you know, Nick, you're a really good fisherman, but I'm not really that good of a fisherman. I just know where the fish are, okay? That's all it is. I understand where they're going to be. Then once you go fishing, you know, 240, 250 plus days a year, you instantly realize what does matter and what doesn't matter. Like tide. Tide is not nearly as important. You just need moving water. That moving water can be based on wind. It can be based on anything, right? You just need moving water. Lure color doesn't matter. When I have 3 or 4 clients, some days I don't have time to go over there and be like, hey man, let me put a pink one on here. I think it'll do better. No, because the fish don't care. The goal is to put that lure in the right spot, in front of the fish. Sometimes they eat it, sometimes they don't. It's just part of the game. But realistically, if they aren't eating it, you just need to go find fish that are feeding. You can sit there for 3 hours. You can throw every lure you have in your kayak, go take a trip to Bass Pro, throw some more lures at them, and they still won't eat it. And then the light switch will come on, and then you catch every single one of them. It happens all the time. You know, Josh can attest to it. I've showed him. It doesn't matter. Keep throwing the lure. We have clients from all over the country that can attest to it, that came in and well, I get guys, you know, especially when the business first started, like, hey, I think we should change lures. They're not eating it. Nah, don't do anything. Keep doing what you're doing. Just watch. And then you see a fish, he'll look at it. One fish will come up and he'll swipe at it, but he wouldn't eat it. And then 5 minutes later, every fish you see eats it. Overthinking, 100%, but you are being sold the thought process of overthinking, okay? They're telling you what to do, Cliff. Just got to stop listening and go fishing. Cliff, you catch all kinds of good fish in South Carolina, don't you? It's a pretty sweet fisher. What other stuff do we have about lures? Leroy, we make all the soft plastics, right? So all the soft plastics behind us, we make them right here. Like I had to make some more earlier. Let's see here. There's some I just made in here earlier. These are just little stick baits, right? We make all kinds of stuff. So we make the swim baits, we make the jerk baits. They are all on our website. We do not put them in any stores in Pensacola. We keep some here at Broxton Outdoors in Navarre. We keep that stocked. We have some hard baits as well that Josh hand paints with the airbrush at his house. And we sell a bunch of these things. Man, what is that? Oh, here you go. They're behind me. This is a little fat jerk bait. We spent pretty much all winter perfecting, you know, finding the perfect blank that was durable and stuff. So we sell a ton of this stuff. I actually put a discount code or coupon code in the description of this video. If you use the code LIVE on our website, you get 10% off of everything on the website for tonight. It'll go away tomorrow, right? But I figured that I would do it for the live video for everybody to watch. I didn't think too many people would actually watch, so I didn't think too many people would benefit from it anyway. So yeah, you go buy all our lures on the website. It's super easy, all that good stuff. Use the discount code of LIVE, L-I-V-E, and you will be able to check out and get 10% off your entire order. Yeah, it's good here. Trout bite is still hot. Yeah, our trout bite was really, really good. I mean, okay, our trout and redfish bite here is really, really, really good this time of year. Haven't been spending as much time in the water like I talked about because there's so many people. But fish has been good. He just hadn't had any trips to run, which low-key depressing, right? Kills your motivation. Hey, Leroy, did I answer your questions about being able to get the lures? You got any other questions about that? Oh. Thanks, buddy. I just saw your comment. There's a little bit of delay, obviously. How do you tie that fat? What's this say? What is this? This message is Joel. YouTube held your message for review. Show it. How do you tie the fat jerk bait? Use the word fat, man. Maybe they think that you're being mean or something. I'll show you in a second. I got distracted. The next question is, I know a guy that insists red kayaks catch more fish. I think his methods are flawed. True. Well, I've fished in a large number of kayaks. I sight fish. If I make a living doing anything, I make a living sight fishing redfish, right? We do that more than anything else throughout the year, obviously based on weather and being able to fish inshore every day. If anything, red kayaks spook more fish. 100%. I put it to the test. In a brown or a white kayak, I have had redfish legitimately swim up to me and hang out, do circles around the kayak. In the red kayak, it must put a reflection out on the water that's not a natural color, and they run all over the place. It's crazy. So yeah, your buddy, maybe your buddy's flawed. Yeah, Matt, you would agree because you have a bright red battleship, but no, it definitely spooks fish. Kevin, that's why I let my guests use my red kayak. I don't blame you. Okay, so Joel, your question about how do you tie that fat jerk bait? Okay, so I'm gonna have to get up real quick. I have some fluorocarbon right here. I got some boomerang snips. Okay, so you guys might not be able to see this the best, but I'll give it a go. Alright, boomerang snip. Now this fat jerkbait right here, this is the first one that Josh painted. Let's just put it like this. We got a bunch of them in, just like the first batch, like a test lure. I took one that I didn't want to wait. Patience is not a strong suit, right? So I had one that I painted. He painted it white with primer, and then I drew on it with a Sharpie. And then I ended up painting that lure completely black with some interior paint to prove a point that color did not matter. But this is the first one Josh painted. Now, obviously I didn't wait either. He was supposed to like clean these things off, and I was like, don't take your time. Just paint it and bring it to me tomorrow. So can we zoom in with this post? Can you guys see the back of that? Can you see how beat up this thing is? The hooks are still bent. I put it back in the box. It took a beating, but I have some awesome video of the first day I ever fished with this. I'm never going to post it because it shows you exactly where I was in the sound, and it's never ever going to see the day. It's never going to see light, okay? No one's ever going to see the video, but it crushed it. So now how I tie this thing on, it's simple. Brad, I'll get to your question in a second. We'll just cut off a little piece of this. Now I'm going to tie, I use a loop knot for everything. I don't care if we're going offshore for triggerfish, red snapper, trolling for king mackerel, sight fishing redfish, throwing topwater. I use the same knot for every lure connection, right? That's a non-slip mono loop knot. Now it's super easy to tie. There's probably a bunch of graphically video or like whatever After Effect videos showing the line do this stuff. But I'll just show you real quick. All you do is do an overhand knot, right? Just simple overhand knot like so. You want it to be tiny, okay? That guy's tiny. That's how big your loop is. I see these guys with these huge loop knots. It's crazy. Run the tie into the eye, pinch that loop, then wrap this around here just 3 times, okay? You don't gotta go a lot, don't go crazy. And then you come back down through the loop that you just created and the overhand knot. Make sure you pull the tag in flush, and then just whoop, and you're done. A little tiny little knot. That one's actually bigger than the usual too, because it's kind of weird doing this. Tiny little loop knot. Non-slip mono loop knot, super easy to tie, unbelievably durable. I'll probably get myself hooked when this slips, but yeah, unbelievably durable, 15-pound test. We use that same knot for everything. We never have any problems. Non-slip mono loop knot, and yes, we use that knot with fluorocarbon without any issues. Great knot, very simple, quick. You saw how easy it is to tie, even while talking to you guys. There's no beat in it, in my opinion. I'll tell you this though, if you have a simple knot that you use, keep using it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey man, you got to use a different knot. If you have a knot that's working and you're not breaking off fish, keep using it. If you're not using a loop knot, that knot will take you 5 minutes to figure out. It is so unbelievably easy. I'm telling you, we use it for everything. Every big fish that we ever caught, ever, has been used with that knot. Okay, super simple, nothing to it. Brad's question was, on sight casting, apart from getting hooked up, what is the most behavior difference you see in reds feeding and not? That's actually a great question, okay? Because you can tell. After you do it enough, you can tell. One thing that you'll see, redfish are really, really aggressive and they're not very skittish, right? They'll hang out with the kayak. It's insane. If you see fish actively moving, now not like moving quick, right? But like just kind of cruising around, they are looking for some kind of forage, right? They're actively in a feeding mode. Sometimes when you see redfish, they're just laying in the grass. Sometimes those are the ones you don't want to catch. You can cast at them, right? Those are the ones that are going to react poorly sometimes, right? Because they're hiding in the grass. They're just hanging out. If anything comes by and they're really hungry, maybe they'll eat it. But typically speaking, if they're in the middle of the grass, you got a grass bed, there's a redfish, he's sitting in the middle of it, that fish is not ready to eat anything. He doesn't really care. He's kind of just hiding in the grass. Dolphins can't see him. That's why they have the dot on their tail, right? Sometimes their head will be buried. They're not in a feeding mode. If anything, you're just going to spook them. Now, the redfish that you see on the edge of the grass or edge of a sandbar or anything like that moving, those fish are actively moving and looking for something to eat. A lot of times you'll see those fish, they'll turn, if they're doing like turns and they're coming down a edge of the grass and they turn around, they thought they saw something. They're going to look for it. If you pay close attention, you'll see them chasing, small minnows, pinfish, stuff like that. But if they're just laying there and not really moving, or if they're moving real fast because something else already spooked them, they're not going to eat. Anytime you see a fish on the edge of that grass, and his tail's kind of lifting up, like not tailing, but like he keeps doing this, he's looking at something, right? He has to move his eyes down to look. So he's in a feeding mode. The other thing that you'll see is, remember, these fish they're not really spooked, they're not really skittish, okay? If they're feeding, they're not skittish, right? If you go to cast and you do this and they already move, or the lure hits the water 10 yards away from them and they run instantly in no random direction or any random direction, that's because they aren't in a feeding mode. And what will happen is you can watch the transition as it goes. You'll toss a lure out in front of one, and as soon as the lure's in midair, that fish is gone. Okay, then an hour will go by and you've done that to 10, 15 fish, they won't eat. And the next thing you do, you cast it out there, and the fish will look at it, and then it kind of swim off. That's step one, right? That is the light switch is ready to be, ready to be flipped up. They thought about it. That fish was like, you know what? I'm kind of ready to eat. I fed 6 hours ago. I'm ready to eat something. And then you do that 2, 3 fish, and then you toss it out there in front of one, and you couldn't get that lure away from him if you wanted to. And that's the difference between fish that are just there, kind of like you sitting on your couch, not wanting anything to eat, and then fish that are out there actively feeding. That's a great question, man. It makes a huge difference. I see so many guys, they get discouraged on these trips. And obviously, we run a lot of fishing trips. We have a pretty solid reputation for catching fish. So they listen to you, but they're doubting the situation. Man, we should be throwing a different lure. No. You can change the lure out as much as you want. You're only going to think it makes a difference when those fish decide to eat. Use the same lure, whatever you're using. As long as it's a small 3-inch profile, it's going to work, okay? Just find actively feeding fish. After you cast the same fish 2 or 3 times, hey, get away from that fish. That fish ain't gonna eat. All you're doing is spooking it for the rest of the day, okay? 1, 2 casts, they don't react to it the way they're supposed to, they don't eat it, move to the next fish. You found out where one was. Typically, redfish won't be by themselves. Now you know how deep he was, you know where he was sitting. Go look for his friends. That was a good question, Brad. All right, who's next? Who has another question? I shouldn't be drinking this soda. I should be drinking this water. So we got some guys in the chat room from Navarre. We got some guys in the chat room from South Carolina. Where else? Anywhere else? Anywhere further away? Who doesn't fish from a red kayak? That's a good question. Who refuses to fish from a red kayak? Three-inch bait, 100%. All right, so remember, when you're throwing topwater, you're throwing it for a more aggressive fish. Why is this message restricted? What is this? All right, no, don't hide anybody. Okay, Tim, I don't know why you're. Oh, it's retracted, not restricted. I'm sorry, I didn't know what it said. Oh, I got you. Now it worked. Well, thanks for watching, Tim. Obviously, your internet connection is pretty good. I imagine it's pretty crazy over there with this virus. That's funny. You guys are funny. All right, so 3-inch bait. Yeah, Kevin, 3-inch bait. This is why. Okay, when you throw in top water, obviously the Bonnie is 95, which is a little over 3 inches, right? So obviously all your Japanese lures and stuff will be in millimeters, which is I kind of like it. After using fusion and making stuff, millimeters is pretty legit, right? Definitely more accurate. Okay, 3-inch bait. This is the simplest way to put it. It's not put it to all the clients. If you were sitting on your couch and I was like, hey man, here's a 12-inch sub, and you took it, you set it next to you because you weren't hungry, you wouldn't eat it. But if I tossed you a bite-sized Milky Way, you would eat it without hesitating, right? You would just eat it. Just toss it in your mouth, gone. The wrapper be in your hand, you set it on the couch next to you. You want to use a snack-sized bait because you want every action. Yes, large trout, larger redfish will eat very big meals, but that doesn't mean they don't eat peanuts, right? Okay, they're going to eat small things. You do not need to use a very large bait. A 3-inch bait is, well, one, you're going to see more 3-inch bait on the flats. It is what you want to use. You're going to get more bites. Find a fish that's not starving. He's going to eat a 3-inch shrimp all day long. He doesn't know what it is. 3-inch shrimp, 3-inch minnow. It's a piece of plastic. I mean, what's a stick bait really look like? It looks like a piece of plastic, right? Look like a green bean half the time. 3-inch bait, Kevin. Trust me. That's all we ever use. What we got going on here? Oh. Yeah, I appreciate you ordering the stuff the other day, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah. Working in Fort Walton from South Bend, that's pretty cool. Some people all over the place doing that stuff. Brad, that's hilarious. Fortunately, we know he won't watch this video, so we're not worried about methods. Hey, look, I try to keep these explanations. Remember, I tell people how to catch fish every day that have very little experience, so all of my explanations for pretty much everything these days have been completely simplified to yes, no, this is why it works, this is why it doesn't. No marketing nonsense about a red drum has a small mouth, because that's not it. They're just not very hungry, right? Let's see here. I see the PDL wrench in your store. Do you carry any other parts for the drive? We do not carry any other parts for the drive. We really only carry items that we make. Now we 3D print those wrenches. They float. It's pretty cool. Actually, a guy named Joshua Guthrie had the original idea. He was like, "Hey Nick, can you make a wrench?" Because he didn't want a wrench to rust. I was like, "Man, I could make a wrench, but I could make it float." And then he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Yes." So that's where it came from. It does a great job. We have never had anybody had an issue, but we don't carry any of the parts. We don't carry any of the props, and we don't carry any of the shear pins. Super simple though. The wrench is pretty sweet. Brad, with the change in weather, are you going back to the paddle tail or sticking with the stick bait? I don't really care about the weather, alright? Like, I'm not changing it. I have made the reference of using the stick bait with clients all year because it is so simple to use. It behaves just like a minnow, okay? This is why I appreciate it, Leroy. I appreciate it, buddy. I just talked to Brian about this earlier today. Have any of you ever seen a bait or anything in the water ever swim like a paddle tail when it falls, right? When it falls and the umbrella, the tail's going off like an umbrella, and sometimes they spin around if you don't have enough weight. Have you ever seen anything in nature fall like that? I have not personally ever seen that, right? So the stick bait behaves just like a minnow, a shrimp, anything. Think about it. When you watch a video of a minnow moving, do you ever see its tail move? No, the tail's barely moving at all. Which, if you look at the stick bait, it has little tiny bumps on the end of it, and the tail moves. Now, when I first bought that mold, that's a Ned rig mold, right? Every company makes it. I bought that mold for flounder to get a bait on the bottom with a small hook that would go in their mouth. I had guys catch all kinds of great flounder on it, okay? But when I took it fishing, the first fish I caught on it was a mangrove snapper. I caught a keeper mangrove snapper in the middle of the Santa Rosa Sound on my very first cast with it. Like, what in the world is going on right now? Then I caught a trout, and then I handed it to the client, and she caught 4 slot reds in a row. That's when I realized, I sat down and thought about why. And the reason is, it behaves just like a minnow. It darts around. If you watch, let me get one of these things out. Hold on a second. Hold on. If you watch a minnow feed, here's the ground, a minnow does this. Just like a fish in a fish tank, right? When he's doing that, there's a little bit of dirt bouncing around, right? Boom, 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 boom. Small, skinny profile, looks just like a minnow. It also looks like a ghost shrimp. This color was designed because I clean a lot of redfish every year. I clean an unbelievable amount of slot reds every single year. And over the last decade, I always look at their stomach. And you know what I see more than anything? Ghost shrimp, all the time. All those little holes you see in the Santa Rosa Sound, those are ghost shrimp. This is what it looks like. It's very similar, right? It's not perfect, but perfect. And they molt, they change colors a little bit, but it's similar. It's close enough that they're not going to tell the difference. And you put that jig head in here, and it stands up on the bottom just like this. They see it, and they instantly crush it. We've sight fished an unbelievable number of fish with this thing. Black drum. We catch a few black drum every year, but normally they see the bait, they turn, and they run away from it. But they've been eating this thing because they eat ghost shrimp. I had a client catch like 3 of them one day, and Josh caught one, and I caught like 5 or so in one trip. And they were all, nice size eating black drum, right? And they were crushing it, but they wouldn't ever eat a paddle tail because I've been sight fishing those fish for years. And I catch a few, but not enough to matter, right? So yes, stick bait for life. Not changing it. It's just too easy to use. Kevin, Leroy made me think. I'm planning to make an offshore rescue kit, wrench and pin. What else do you carry for the Predator? Well, we have owned 30 VIN numbers plus. We broke 2 pedal systems the first year. Out of 30, I have had 1 rudder cable break on the water. Those are the only things that I have ever broke on the water in that kayak. I broke the pedals too, like the crank arms. They stripped out on me, but I made a video a while back showing everybody how to fix that. You just, from the factory, they don't always tighten it down enough, so you just pop the pedals off and tighten that down to the video. So if you do that, you won't have any more problems with that. I carry the wrench. I carry 2 to 3 shear pins, not because we actually need them, but just because I put them in a bag a long time ago and they've been there ever since. I've never actually broke a shear pin on the water. I have broken a prop blade, whereas one of the clients pulled it up and they went to put it down and it wasn't indexed properly and it snapped it. But even with 1 blade, that kayak will pedal 3.5 miles per hour without any effort. Now there's less resistance, so there's less torque and there's a slight vibration. But even if you broke the prop, you're good, right? You're gonna be fine. You have plenty of power to go places, which is awesome. I carry a spare prop though, just in case. Why not? If it happens, whatever. In case maybe you get some line wrapped around there, you did remove it. Say you dropped the prop, or say you dropped the nut. So you should get a spare nut. You get at the hardware store. Just go in there with the one you got, size it out, bring it out. Carry a spare nut, spare shear pin, spare prop. The wrench works well. Outside of that, there are some guys that fish like wooded lakes, and they carry those lock pins. We have never broke those lock pins, and we've pedaled into a ton of sandbars over the years. So yeah, that's what I carry. I don't really carry anything too special. I carry a rope. I talk about that in a lot of seminars and videos as well, just in case, right? So maybe someone hurts their leg. Maybe someone has a cramp, maybe their legs are hurt, maybe their pedal system fails completely, maybe it's not anyone you're with, maybe they're in a paddle kayak and they're stuck out there. So I carry a rope just so I could pull them back to the beach if needed. That's it. I don't carry anything else. I carry some flares, but that's not for anything other if anything did go bad. What other questions you got about that, Kevin? It's all pretty simple and straightforward. I don't really carry a whole lot of stuff. Fourth of July. You have to carry someone back to the beach? 4th of July is crazy. Oh, flares on me. Yeah. I got a flare kit in my thing. Realistically, it's been there forever. This is a started kayak fishing. I don't necessarily think I'll ever actually need it. Have you had any issues with the new Stratic? Matt, I made a video about that. I did find an issue. It kind of went away though. I haven't changed it. Kind of went away. Hold on, I have it right here. Let's see. I put some stuff right here so I can grab it, and then we could talk about it because I figured people have random questions. All right, the new Stratics right there. They changed some things on this supposedly. They made the spool longer, which is supposed to help with casting. They have like a long cast edition on all their surf reels too. That it's a little bit longer. It makes a difference, not enough to actually matter in my opinion. But this guy right here, this line roller bearing, it's always been a problem on the old ones. They said that they made that thing water resistant or waterproof or corrosion resistance, but I had a problem with that thing within like 3 or 4 months of using it, and we didn't have any clients. The reel never went swimming, and it was already making a noise, which was kind of frustrating to me. Now, it is a super simple fix, small little Phillips here. On the old ones, it was like a T6 or something like that. You just popped it out, put a new one in, it's $6. I never did that with this one, and well, we didn't actually have any problems with it. So I haven't had any problems outside of that. If you get to 2,500, we do upgrade the drag washers to carbon text or carbon, but we did a video about that as well. Felt washers aren't going to hold up. Josh found out the hard way about that. They just don't cut it, all right? They don't cut it. Good reel though. If you have the old one, I wouldn't upgrade it though. I mean, I wouldn't upgrade it. We only upgraded it to give clients the best experience, really. Like to provide the latest and greatest for everybody. As far as performance-wise, still catching fish. Still catching fish, so it didn't make that much of a difference. You heard that trout rods tend to fail with triggerfish? Nah, I don't know about that. I've caught multiple limits of red snapper on my G limits. I think something else happened, but it did fail, so it wasn't even a big triggerfish. That's a sad story, right? It's inside information. What other questions we got about this stuff? I know you guys got questions. I know it's a lot easier to ask the questions in person when we do the seminars at Broxton's. And I know that's kind of weird to do it on YouTube. You got to type and stuff. But your questions are going to help people. So if you have a question, I know the personal situation, like at Broxton's or in a building, is so much more convenient for some people, anyways. But if you have any questions, ask them. What's today? Today's Friday, so we have some fishing trips coming up that I'm supposed to run. But I haven't made up my decision on what days we're going to do them or where we're going to do them. Anybody else fishing this weekend? You're all fishing inshore though, right? Because you can't get off the beach if you live here locally. Dang, you were on a motorcycle? Now you're watching. Brad's fishing Sunday. Who else is fishing? Kevin, okay, so you help all of us local, non-local guys with our fishing. We know you're getting hammered with the coronavirus. How can we help you? it's not about helping one person, right? If you look at it like this, a lot of our community are connected to the government, right? The other half of the community isn't. Like, think about all your restaurants, your hotel industry, every small business that exists in this town that you've ever shopped at or done anything with is feeling all of the impacts, right? Some of them have been forced to close. Some of them have been forced to go to go only, which kills businesses, right? Sit down restaurants, people don't want it to go. They want to come sit down and eat and leave the mess there. With that stuff, that's affecting everybody, right? Not just me. So really, that whole shop local stuff, which has always been important, that's why all this stuff is easy for you to source locally. Yeah, just stick to the guns. I know it's hard. I know some of those places are closed. I know some companies started putting out gift certificates and stuff or gift cards to pay for their employees. We don't have any employees, right? All we have is us and the family. Fortunately, we still ran a few trips. We have other. We sell a lot of fishing lures on the website. We still are selling a bunch of handles and wrenches. And that's the stuff that will help us get through. So I appreciate all that stuff. We sell a lot of stuff. We had that shirt pre-order, which is still on the website. We sold a bunch of performance shirts this past week. I actually left it up there, even though it was supposed to end the 25th. But I wanted to leave it up there for tonight because everything's 10% off. So really, all those orders and stuff are helping us. But, we went to the Chinese restaurant the other day, and it was upsetting. It bothered me that my wife went and picked it up, right? As we always would go pick it up. We probably eat, Chinese food or Thai food every once or two, once or twice every month. I love Thai food, right? And that we were only their second customer, and it was like 6 p.m., right? We were their second customer all day. So everybody is hurting from it, and it's crazy to see. It really is. So it sucks for everybody, not just us. So just do what you guys always do. Buy stuff locally. I know you're not allowed to leave the home as much, and I know there are precautions and stuff you want to take, but after all this stuff clears up, hopefully it clears up sooner than later, get back out of town, go live your normal lives. Every business, not just mine, is impacted by it. All right, let's see here. I don't know. Leroy, what's it mean retracted? Did you delete it because you made a typo or something? I just don't know what it means. So I'm just curious. All right, Tim. So ghost shrimp in Upper Bays, Blackwater. There are ghost shrimp everywhere. Blackwater, Scambia, East Bay, Little Bay, the river. They're everywhere, right? That's the thing. They're everywhere. There are so many in the sound. It's unreal. Okay, so they're everywhere. You don't think about what's in the hole. All those little holes are ghost shrimp. They are everywhere, okay? If you got a secret spot to it, keep it to yourself, because if some guys with pompano fish, and if they find out where your secret ghost shrimp hole is, they're going to come catch them all, so don't tell anybody. Okay, thanks. I was just curious. I've never done this live stuff on here. I thought I saw a question you wrote about the 120 PDL, how you just got it and couldn't go fishing, but I was talking, right? Multitasking is not my strong suit, evidently. Joel says he's trying to decide where to fish tomorrow based on the forecast tomorrow. Where would you go? Let's see. What was it? South. What was the condition? South wind, obviously. Man, look. The problem with it is it gets windy, right? You should have an incoming tide most of the day. I mean, it's difficult. You can go anywhere, man. All you gotta do is go to the closest launch to your house that's out of the wind. I don't know where I would go. I gotta call some clients and talk to them about what they want to do. I wanted to fish out towards Oriole Beach, but with that wind, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It's kind of upsetting. I know there's some trout out there right now. I think maybe that's supposed to be thanks, Tim? I don't know, man. Typo? I don't know. But you're welcome. Get some takeout from a local restaurant, buy from a local small business. This is not just now, but as much as possible. Yeah, I agree completely, Leroy. That stuff, I'm telling you, it goes a long way. I'm telling you, it really bothers me at that restaurant right down the road right here. We've only had 2 customers all day. I was like, wow, that's so crazy, right? Yeah, Brad, thanks, buddy. Those shirts are pretty solid, man. They're like that. We could totally sell that material for like $50, but I'd rather sell it for 30. I don't know. I don't make a living selling apparel. That stuff's pretty much like, thanks. We only make a few dollars profit on each shirt, like $4 profit on each shirt. So I don't really do it to make a bunch of money. I just people always ask about them, and we make a living going fishing. So I just put them on the website for $30. Uh, Yeah, Leroy. No, I mean your comment's fine. I don't think anybody would get upset about that. When you look at like Rocks and Outdoors, for example, you want to talk about getting kayaks. Um, there are so many people who pre-ordered kayaks, and Old Town's plant is shut down, so everyone is hurting, right? Yeah, that's right. I think that I imagine some of these restaurants they actually posted some stuff that they were going to close because they didn't have any business and they couldn't afford to keep paying their employees to make food for no one. Right? It's insane. All right, Cliff. Someone mentioned trout rods. I use the same rods for a variety of fish. Do we really need specific rods for inshore? No, definitely not. I'll tell you right now. Like, okay, so my rod preference is all based on the lure I'm going to use. Now, I don't use anything inshore that is significantly over half an ounce. The only thing that I use, okay, the heaviest lure that we use inshore is the top water, which is the Jack Bonnie. I'm not 100% positive what the weight is anymore because I haven't looked in, I don't know, 5 years. But it's somewhere around half ounce, maybe a little bit heavier. But we use the G Loomis E6X 843s, or sorry, 842s. Sorry, 842s. My bait cast is 843. 842s in the spinning reels on the E6X stuff. It has plenty of backbone here. I'm actually going to read off what it's rated for because really you need the rod. The rod does the rod does three things, right? Okay, this one is a 7-foot medium light. It is moderately fast. It is rated for 6 to 12 pound line, and it is rated from a quarter ounce to a half ounce. What that means is you shouldn't apply more than 12 pounds of drag. Don't worry about the line rating. Just convert that number to don't try to put more than 12 pounds of drag on it. The rod will eventually fail somewhere. Probably if you're doing it right, it'll fail right here. Moderate fast refers to the action that's here, okay? As you can see, it doesn't recoil. I almost dropped it. That would have been funny. It doesn't recoil super fast. It's kind of slow, and the bend comes all the way through the rod, right? You can bend it all the way through it like that. When I go to buy a rod, I buy the rod based on the lures we're going to use. Now, saying the lightest lure that we throw is a jerk bait, right? Is a soft jerk bait, which is just a weedless flute type bait. My goal is to be able to throw a bait like this, which has 0 lead on it, as far as possible. Because all we rigged this up with is a 5-aught hook, right? So there's no weight there other than the plastic. So my goal is for that setup to throw this great. If it doesn't throw this great, it's no good to me because then I can't use every lure I would use inshore. Outside of that, I want the heavyweight. So I need to be able to throw this. I need to be able to throw this into the wind. I need to have enough backbone, enough tip to push this into a brisk wind accurately. I want to just lob it out there, right? So these are the two heaviest lures that we use inshore, period. So that's what I look for. Fighting the fish wise, one of the biggest things I see is the people want to fight the fish at the tip of their rods instead of the backbone. People look at that rod and go, there's no way you catch those big redfish on that rod. Look, I put a whooping on those big redfish with that rod because I fight the fish with my hand. I don't do this and fight the fish at the tip. Pull on that fish, the rod should be bending. You should feel that cork at your hand bend. And that's when you know you are using the rod correctly. So I use the same rod for redfish, trout, flounder, anything inshore, right? I've even used that exact rod offshore and caught multiple limits of 18 to 20-inch red snapper without any issues. We did have one break the other day. Josh broke one of his, but that rod probably had an issue before Josh. Josh caught a little tiny trickfish. Somehow it broke, right? Weird. Things happen though. I'm not saying anything, but I saw guys recovering a kayak on the Sound, but they had beach wheels and offshore gear. Just saying. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that, Kevin. I don't know who it was, but the weather's been really bad, so I doubt they're up to anything crazy because the surf was like 3 foot, so I don't know what they would have been doing. Let's see here. Josh says he can tell you several spots. I don't know what we're talking about. Brad said, do you use any other soft baits that work well in heavy grass apart from the jerk bait? Leroy, that scupper will not fit on the top water. Your holes are too set forward in the center. I did make something that would work for you, but I haven't finished designing it yet because I like to thoroughly think it through. We'll go on about that some other time. Brad, about the grass, right? Other lures that work well in the grass. Not really, man. Okay, so let me go with this. I get asked the question, like random questions about if you can only use one lure, what would you use? Like if end of times happen, you can only have one lure forever. I would take the soft jerkbait. I'll tell you right now, you can fish it in any condition successfully. Shallow grass, floating grass, deep water, whatever. You can fish it in anything weightless. You just gotta wait for it to sink slower, right? But you can fish it anywhere. It's also the reason that when I first moved here, I grew up in Ohio bass fishing with a white or a baby bass or a pink colored zoom, fluke, and a 4/0 hook, right? I realized as I got older, the 4/0 didn't allow the lure to sink as fast as I wanted to work it, so I started using a 5/0 for extra weight. It's amazing how much difference a hook size will change how a soft plastic performs. And once you get it dialed in, it's hard to go anything else. Now, I have fished some other baits. I have fished a lure, it's called like the slick or a slick lure. It's kind of shaped weird with a little skinny tail and a little ball in the end. But I wasn't a fan of how slow it sank. It didn't get down where I wanted it to fast enough, and I couldn't work it as quick as I wanted. So you could use a variety of baits that are weedless, right? Tons of different bait manufacturers, tons of whatever. You need to find one where the plastic is consistent. The plastic can't be too buoyant or it will float. So a denser plastic does well, but then you need to find a plastic. The reason we got away from the zoom stuff is it wasn't durable enough. So a pinfish would come up and hit the tail, and the tail was instantly gone. Well, that doesn't do you no good. Now it doesn't glide properly. So we'll start making those with a denser plastic. They're more durable and they sink faster, so the tail doesn't get messed up. So it's hard to get away from it. Now I still tinker around with other things, but weedless and weightless, not just weedless. People be like, I got a weedless jig head and I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce jig head in a foot of water. I keep reeling in grass. It's supposed to be weedless. That's not how it works, man. Like weightless. You need a lure that performs well. That's weedless and weightless. We're fishing super shallow water. You could put a 5/0 hook like that in a swim bait as well, like a rhythm wave. I've done that a ton of times, right? But you need to swim that bait kind of sort of. It doesn't glide, and I like the gliding effect of a fluke style bait. Let's see here. Tim, what is your opinion on Cajun popping cork with gulp or live shrimp? Yeah, the glide is key, man. The glide is, once you master the fluke, it's over. Like you catch anything you want to catch. It takes time. But Cliff, we'll answer your question too. We'll go to Tim real quick. Cajun popping cork, gulp, or live shrimp? None of it. Delete it all. Delete it all. That's what I would do, right? I would delete it all, okay? The cork is cool if you want to fish a live bait or you just want to drift behind your pontoon boat or something like that, okay? or you are fishing with young kids. But golf typically leads you to catching catfish, stingrays. You're gonna catch a bunch of stuff, but you have no idea what you're gonna catch. You can still catch great fish on it, but if you're out there without a game plan, you're trying to learn, you're gonna catch a lot of catfish, a lot of things that you don't want. It's also going to get torn apart by pinfish. Live shrimp, same thing. You're going to get torn apart by pinfish. The bottom is going to go under, and you're going to think to yourself, a lot of charter captains do this, right? Oh, you just missed one. No, you didn't miss one. The pinfish just came over there and stole your shrimp, right? Ladyfish, catfish, all those things, I don't like it. If you understand the behavior of fish, you can cast way less than you do now and catch way more fish. Josh can attest to it. I'll sit on the water sometimes, text messaging. I'll see what I want to see. I'll make a cast and catch a fish. You don't have to use golf or any other thing to make your fishing better. Learn how the fish behave, and it doesn't matter what you use as long as you're in the right spot. Okay. I don't mess with the golf. I don't mess with the popping cork. You know, it's weird to cast. More stuff to get in the way, more rigging. I don't know. It's just not for me, all right? Live shrimp, definitely not for this guy. Okay, let me see here. Matt said, so you prefer to let's see, wait, I can't read. Prefer to upsize the hook rather than using the weighted jerk bait. Okay, so we make some things that no one knows exist. I don't actually use them often, but it is a great option. So I'll go get them, right? All right, here they are right here. They've been sitting over here for a long time. I've considered making them. I've considered doing a video about it. I prefer to always use a 5-aught. I'm never going to use a 4-aught. So 5-aught hook is the 100% standard, no questions asked, not deviating from it. That's the answer, right? So let's see here. We got one of these guys right here. We'll break in here. We'll take a hook out of this thing so you guys can see. All right, these are 5-aught hooks. They're super durable. They hold up well. Okay, so 5-aught is the standard. We're never getting away from it. Not because of 4-aught or 3-aught's not strong enough to hook the fish. We're in it purely for the performance of the bait. Right down there like that. Spin this guy over. He sits just like that. Go right here. Poke yourself in the finger. You take this part, push it forward, do that. Now you're weedless and weightless minus the hook, right? Okay, so if we want to use this lure in deeper water, what I would do, which we don't do, we usually just throw the stick bait or the paddle tail, but there is a time where it would work well and a weight will allow you to work it faster. But I wouldn't put a weighted hook on here because then you got to take it off, unrig it, do all these things, use that stupid twist lock thing that just causes problems. Check out these little guys. Little clips, little metal clips, right? Now I haven't shown anybody these yet. You just take this thing like so. Oop, get it lined up. Uh-oh, almost dropped it. I might have already used these messing around. Okay, here we go. Need a screwdriver. Need to get this one back to where it was. Failure. Okay, so I already experimented with these ones. Just gonna spread this out a little bit to make room for that hook. Now you can take this guy, you just slide him in here like this, and then you just wrap these little lead arms around there. This one might be too small. I made a bunch of them. There's a bunch of different sizes I made over here to experiment with. We'll just use this one for now since she'll fit. Get on there. I'm gonna fail miserably at this. It's not gonna work for me on here. Just because you guys are watching, right? So I wasn't prepared for this one. Oh yeah. Lead's supposed to be a soft metal and I can't get it to bend. Go figure, right? Dang, Brad, weren't you here one day at the house when I showed you this? I didn't have any problems then. Fail. Get on there. This is terrible. Live video gone wrong. This is crazy. Dang, this is supposed to be. There we go. Holy cow, it took a ridiculous amount of work to get it stretched out. Oh, you still can't get it on there. That is absurd. I'm failing. I enjoy seeing you fail. You get to enjoy seeing me fail all the time. Ah, it's true. You're right. I'm gonna fail. Alright, anyways, I'm just gonna give up, okay? Because this is ridiculous. It's supposed to be simple. This is why I haven't told you guys about it yet, because I haven't perfected it, obviously. But these just clip on there. They just clip on. That way, if you want to use this heavier one, you just clip it on there. If you want to use this one, you just clip it on there. Then you have a different weight, okay? So if you wanted to add weight, I wouldn't get a weighted hook. I would add these little clips to it and go from there. Man, I failed. Failed miserably. But okay, whatever. We're moving on. I'm going to get that worked out. You got a favorite recipe for king mackerel? Only good thing I found is smoked fish dip. Yeah, me too. There are way too many good tasting fish around here to actually worry about eating king mackerel, in my opinion. Just making them fish dip. Leroy, do you use any type of attractant on your lures? I don't. Now, I did do a review the other day, or like an introduction to a product that is made in Texas. It's very similar to a Procure or a Galt spray. Different application. It's used on like a chapstick or deodorant container, and you just rub it on your bait, which I thought was nice, because one reason I don't use Gulp is it smells terrible, it gets all over your hands. Same with Procure, it leaks all over the kayak. The kayak smells terrible somehow forever. Super oily. This stuff is like a deodorant. Did a video on it. It's called Stank Stick. Yeah, it's called Stank Stick. Now I haven't actually used it. I'm gonna use it, right? But I haven't used it yet, mainly because we don't have any problems catching fish, right? Like if I couldn't catch a fish no more and I needed to have some confidence in something, I'll probably spray anything I had to spray on there. But I'm telling you, once you figure out the behavior, you can really step away from colors and stuff like that. I don't like the idea of, there's a lot of random things in there that attract all kinds of fish, right? It attracts stingrays, it attracts ladyfish, Spanish mackerel. I don't want to catch those fish. I want to catch the fish that I am trying to catch, and by doing that, I'm gonna focus on their behavior, their characteristics, where they feed, how they feed, and I'm gonna go from there. I don't like the idea of spraying some stuff on there and hoping that it helps, or rubbing some stuff on there hoping it helps. Those are just my thoughts on it. I don't ever use it. I did use it 10 years ago, but then you realize that it's more work. I don't know. This is not for me, alright? I fixed that. The camera wasn't even, I didn't even clip the tripod down. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, Josh, I know you enjoy seeing me fail. News alert. Just saw they put out an executive order out for boats. 50-foot separation, no more than 10 people on board, does not mention yaks. It's on my FWC. I imagine it has a lot to do with down south. Like, you look like Broward, Dade County, Miami area, they have so many giant sandbar parties where people are just still going out there and doing all kinds of stuff. That's not going to stop them. 10 people on a 20-foot boat, you're definitely within 6 feet of each other. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on that. King mackerel makes a good fish chowder. That's about it. I've never made it in fish chowder, Tim. To be honest with you, I don't eat all that much fish. Okay, I eat a lot of red snapper and a lot of triggerfish during triggerfish season and red snapper season. Obviously, we eat every keeper grouper that we catch. Every mahi that we catch is dinner. Cobia is also dinner. But I don't really keep too many redfish or trout anymore, ever. I like, this is like my pets, man. I like to see them spawn, right? I even convince clients not to keep them these days. All about conservation. Options for picking up this weekend, or should I just ship to Pensacola? Leroy, that's up to you. I should be available most evenings. We do live in the middle of Navarre, so probably a 35-minute ride, if not longer for you. I more often than not package up all of the orders the same day. Even tonight, I'll probably go package up whatever orders are in the system and ship it out the next morning, realistically. So you should have it. The post office has been being a little slow with the virus stuff, right? They're obviously minimally manned. You should have it Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest, regardless if you go to shipping route. But that's up to you. If you do want to go to local pickup route, just select local pickup, and then you can I'll shoot you a text message or an email or whatever, however you reply to it. We can set up a time, but I'm usually at the house most evenings. What are the questions we got about fishing? Inshore, offshore, kayak general stuff, whatever questions you guys got. I'm just firing from the hip, right? I don't have any script for this stuff, so I appreciate it. So it's easy for me either way, okay? So whatever you want. I can't believe I can't bend this leg anymore. Maybe like got super hard. It's been sitting over there for a few months, no joke. But it should be able to bend around the hook. That was an epic fail. That was a hardcore fail of epic proportions. Let's see. See that bait behind me? Let's see here. Boom. What other questions we got? I figure I got another like 30 minutes of just answering questions for you guys. Then I'm gonna go eat some more dinner and be a bum. Gotta keep the shelf organized. Okay, well, we've been doing this for a while, so let's ask these questions. How is the camera angle? How is the connection? I have a delay on mine, so I'm talking, you're gonna see a delay, you're not gonna notice it, but I see a delay in the comments, which is why I keep looking down. It's kind of weird for me. Obviously it's new, so how's that experience for you guys? How's the audio? How's the video? Hey, thanks for watching, Tim. I appreciate it, buddy. If you got any questions or feedback about this, let me know. Josh, you painting any lures tonight? Audio is a little quiet. Okay, that maybe I got the mic underneath my shirt right here, which could be a problem. I'm talking pretty normal. I could talk louder. If this is enjoyable to people and it goes over well, I have multiple actual like DSLRs to do this with on a more professional setup. I opted to go the easy and simple route today just to save some time. When you gonna get one of those new old towns? Josh painted all day evidently. When am I gonna get one of those new old towns? Wait, you mean the autopilot? I don't like the hype. I don't know. I don't know if you want my thoughts, my actual thoughts. I gave some initial thoughts, but I was very, very nice about it. I didn't really go into details on how I truly feel about it because I wanted to touch it before I just tell the world it wasn't built by a kayak fisherman. It was built by some dude in an office. Okay, here's a question. It's not a kayak, solid point. Quick tips for beginner kayak fishermen. I've caught most fish, flounder, redfish, sheepshead, etc. from the bay, bridges, and shoreline here at Pensacola, but I've not been a serious fisherman in years. Okay, so you fish for the shore, right? I used to wade fish and wade fish exclusively, right? No bridges, no nothing, no piers, just wade fish. So as a pier fisherman or a shoreline fisherman, you always want to get way out there, right? Way away from where you're standing, where you're gonna find yourself fishing right next to where you were standing. It's really weird, right? When you're out there, you want to cast away from the shoreline. When you're on the beach, you want to cast away from the shoreline. When you're out there, you want to cast back to the shoreline. It's super funny. It's a crazy crazy thing, right? Kayak allows you to get to places that you couldn't get to before, which is awesome. Being a good kayak fisherman involves two things. I tell this to everybody: you need to be good at kayaking, and you need to be good at fishing. When you combine the two, things change. You have to be good at fishing sitting down. So if you're not good at kayaking, it's going to be very, very hard. So my recommendation is to go out and get comfortable in the kayak. Don't even bring your fishing gear. Go get comfortable. Go see where the kayak performs well. Get it stuck. Pull the paddle out. Get unstuck. Make changes. Move around. And go from there. You don't overthink it, okay? Like, get used to the kayak, then apply what you know. We've done a lot of videos in the past about, simplifying your tackle selection and doing these things. I've been really doing this, thinking about this for years, doing a video about being a minimalist, really, because kayak fishermen, in my opinion, my success is based on being a minimalist. Every year I bring less and less stuff. Like, I'll leave the house with like 2 packs of soft plastics, like 6 hooks, like, yeah, we're gonna be good. Every year I bring less and less stuff. Simplify what you got. Don't bring a 15-pound anchor. Don't worry about it. Cover water. Pay attention to the wind. Always go upwind. Always go into the wind. Let the wind bring you home. Pay attention to that stuff. Pay attention to the tide. Fish close to your house. I see guys all the time. Actually, really funny. I got all these dudes from like Shalimar and Niceville, and they always message me about coming to Navarre. But I go fish over there all the time. It's super funny. So fish in your backyard, right? We fished Choctawhatchee Bay yesterday. Everyone says that bay is dead for years. People, that bay is dead. I've caught all kinds of fish in that bay every time I've ever even went near it, okay? Plenty of fish everywhere. Learn to fish close to home. It will make you a better fisherman. Don't chase fishing reports. I can go on about this stuff for days, right? Just because on Facebook someone said they caught a fish at a boat ramp, you have no idea when that video was recorded or when they actually went. I'm going to tell you, if you're listening to me and you ask me where I went fishing, it's not a lie, but it's not the truth. And then if I am telling you the truth, you never know when I am telling you the truth, okay? Find some place other people don't go. Get away from the crowd. You'll catch fish. Everything's good with guys' kayaks. Let's see here. What topography do you look for besides structure? Any depth change, okay? So I've spoken about this a lot in the past, and my answers are the same as they used to be. A 6-inch drop-off is huge if you're a flounder. Think about it. So something that you think is irrelevant to you is huge if you're any kind of fish. And I learned that wade fishing. There's a lot of guys, and I'm not being mean about it, but a lot of guys who, they get into this stuff and they just want to go catch fish. But all the guys who are truly succeeding at catching fish all over the place, they learn the hard way. And we'll say the hard way is most of the stuff that you guys go and fish in your kayaks, like right behind Broxton's, I fished that long before most people lived here, long before quality kayaks, pedal kayaks really even existed to that fact, right? And I wade fish every foot of it. So you truly don't understand how much a flat changes until you shuffle your feet over it. You go from knee-deep water to thigh-deep water. You go from thigh-deep water to chest-deep water, back to knee-deep water. That is how you learn a flat. You can wade it at low tide. You can wade it at high tide. Obviously, wading them at low tide is much smarter. Every single flat will change on every single storm. That includes grass locations and sandbar locations. Keep that stuff in mind. If you truly want to learn, you need to go out and figure it out with your feet. Sounds crazy, but I'm telling you it's the best answer. Let's see. Yeah, lots of people at the boat ramps. Crazy. All right, Joel, haven't fished the Sound much, mostly Blackwater and Archie Glover. Can you give me some tips for sight fishing? It's easy. Don't change the lure you're using. Your pair of polarized glasses goes a long way, but muscle memory is everything. You aren't going to see as many fish because you don't know what you're looking for. It's going to take a long time until you truly understand what you're looking for. I'm telling you that I can identify a redfish or a trout pretty far away, but I know what every angle of that fish looks like. If you pay close attention to a redfish, they have so many different features, right? So sometimes if they're coming straight at you, they'll kind of look like a torpedo, kind of like this, right? Kind of like a torpedo, shaped like this. Their tails don't move, right? Their tails only turn like this when they're turning. When they're swimming fast, the tail's like this. Tail doesn't move, okay? So you're not gonna see this. When they turn their tail, it's to turn around. You can see spots. In young fish, you can see blue in their tail sometimes. In some of the copper fish, you can see the red or the orange or the gold look. You can see their pectoral fins. Their pectoral fins, actually, the bony part is white. You can see that white part. Sometimes there's a purple hue to their pectoral fins, and you can see that. You can see a large number of things. Trout will actually look pretty black. Especially from a top-down view, their tails always look black, where mullets' tails will look a gray or a white most of the time. There are so many things that you can learn sight fishing, but quality pair of polarized glasses, make sure you're facing the right direction, muscle memory. Don't worry about catching every fish you see. Go find the fish, go spook fish, go until you learn to see what a fish looks like. If you're the whole time trying to find one and you don't see one, you're never going to learn, you're never going to build that muscle memory. Go spook some fish and be like, all right, I see a few, I know what I'm looking for now. Makes a big difference. Let's see here. Leroy, fish into the wind, let the wind bring you home. Had a coworker tell me today he's going tomorrow with his umbrella to bring him home. Yeah, it's true, it works well. Just make sure you know which way the wind's going to shift. Three things, Nick, you forgot. Forgiving your wife. Forgiving my wife? What am I forgiving my wife for? If anything, she has to forgive me for all my nonsense, right? Josh says, not all expensive sunglasses are the same. It is completely true. Go on about that for years. Curtis has wanted me to release this landing video for a long time. So here, I'm going to give you the gist of it. If the swell is out of the southeast and you want to land here, you come in down the wind, get across the second sandbar, get in the gut, position your kayak east. That way you can see to your right and you can see the waves coming. You can count them, time them, get used to small, medium, big, follow the big wave in. Also, if it is bad, you go to come in, you want to abort your mission, you're already sideways, you can make a 90-degree turn very quickly, you can pedal full go and pedal up and over the wave and reset. That's pretty much the gist of the video. It's super easy. You should never have that swell coming in behind you because your kayak is not a boogie board or a surfboard. You'll get top heavy, you'll fall out. But I got that video stuff on my computer still. I just didn't think it was good enough. I wanted to do a better job, but I probably should have just released it. What about people who wear corrective lenses? Should they buy a pair of polarized versus transitions? All right, it's kind of a bad spot, right? Because to buy a prescription polarized lens, you gotta drop a pretty significant penny on them, right? Igniter lens, it's polar chromatic, so it kind of changes like a transition lens does. They're about $250, I believe. That's what they were when I bought them. I bought like 2 pairs over the years. However, with corrective lenses, your transition lenses aren't necessarily polarized lenses, they'll get dark. Dark is actually the problem, and that's what Josh was referring to. They're not all created equally. You don't want a lens that has a black on the back. You want a lens that cuts glare and increases saturation. Okay, if you know anything about editing photography, which I know a lot of people don't, so it's kind of a rough thing. The pair of glasses I use takes the world is in 1080, right? It takes the world in 1080p and it turns it into 4K because everything is more vivid. Darks are darker. Typically, so we get a lot of guys, everybody's got a pair of Cosas, right? They come out, they got green lenses, and the back is black. Well, the back makes everything darker. That black lens, it stops light like a tint, right? But it doesn't give you more details. It reduces details to put less light on your eyes. You want a pair of glasses that reduces glare and reduces light, but doesn't take away details. That is what allows you to see everything. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Let's see. When fishing a new area, what is your best advice for finding fish? Throw top water. Always throw top water. If you can get away with throwing top water and it's not too grassy or there's no floating grass, you throw top water. Doesn't matter if they eat it or not. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of winter. Doesn't matter if it is the middle of summer, fall, spring. Throw top water until you see a fish react to it. Once that first fish reacts, you can start to form a pattern. And once you form a pattern, you'll find his friends, his brothers, sisters, you catch his whole family, right? Throw top water, find that first fish. Maybe he crushes it. Maybe you catch fish on top water all day. Maybe he comes up behind it and he short strikes at it, which is a typical May. May is a month where the fish will come up and they'll just be like, nah, I'm kidding, just joking. Then you throw a 3-inch bait out there and they eat it every single time. It's crazy. But you found the fish with top water, then you drop a soft plastic or a jerk bait on their face, you catch them every single time. That simple. Got a roll, buddy, dinner on the table. Hey, I appreciate you coming to watch. Appreciate you joining our live stream. Later, mate. Everyone's Australian, I know now because of Brad. Take it easy, buddy. Tell the girls I said hello. All right. What we got? 7:35. So we've been at this about an hour and a half. What other questions we got? I'm not in a hurry. I don't really have anything else to do other than go eat too much food and add to my belly, right? Chat when you're allowed. Curtis, I will make the video about the surf. Have you ever flipped in the surf? Curtis, have you ever flipped in the surf? I really with the soft plastic, by the way. Broxton's outer ghost shrimp stick baits, by the way. Man, I restock that place like once a week, no joke. The people be killing that ghost shrimp color. I'm telling you, that thing works great. Have never flipped yet. Yeah, me neither, man. I got some wood right here, so get some good stuff. Yeah, I've never flipped either, thankfully. How to ghost shrimp? All right, I got some ghost shrimp. I'll restock it. Hey Leroy, did I get you a good answer about your beginning kayak fisherman stuff? When am I gonna rock a mullet as in the haircut? I don't know, I kind of have a mullet, right? I mean, it's kind of close to it. Not so much party, not so much business in the front, but I could rock a mullet. Rock a mullet. I don't really cut my hair, man. Like my wife just takes scissors and just snips it off. Launching the PDL, I think launching the PDL is far easier, and the reason I think it's easier is there are so much more torque from that PDL for pedal system in general. More than likely, I've launched a native out there a few times over the years, but there's just so much more torque compared to Curtis's Outback. Outback's a great kayak though, man. I don't have anything against Hobie. Hobie makes a good product, right? But there's a lot of people who refuse to sit in that PDL. Actually, you know, it's really funny. I met some guys years ago on the beach, and some of the PDL first came out, man, and they were like, man, you know, I'm thinking about buying that for my next kayak. Super funny. Two dudes said that. One of the guys really said it, right? That same guy is now on Hobie's fishing team. Super funny, right? It's amazing how those things changed. It killed my knees. You're getting old, Curtis. We're all getting old. It's not for everybody. It's not. Too much resistance is bad for some people's knees. It's true. I don't have any knee problems in it. Honestly, the Mirage Drive actually caused my sciatic nerve to get pinched a whole bunch. Once I quit spending so much time in it, my whole like hip area stretched way back out, and I feel way better. Yeah, couldn't even imagine Matt trying to car top a PDL. That would be crazy. All right. Let's see here. Leroy got some good questions. I've not rigged out a boat yet, but I have a Lowrance Hook Reveal 7-inch, and I have a 7 amp hour FPV. My plan is to run 2 batteries with a junction box, and I'm wondering about a white light safety for when fishing at night, low for rigging at night. Is there a good 12-volt white light that's portable, room when it's transport for transport? Yeah. Hey, so look, Yak Attack makes a product called the Visi Carbon Pro. You can, it's just with a track mount, so you can just mount it on your kayak, and your tracks, it has a flag on it as well. You just twist the light down that connects to the battery, it lights up 360 degrees of white light, and you're good to go. I think it runs you about $90, but it's a super easy, quick solution. It works well. Leroy, don't rig your kayak. That's actually a thing I tell everybody all the time. Don't rig your kayak until you spend time in it. Go out there on your kayak, get familiar with it, see where you want to put stuff, and then rig your kayak. I know a ton of guys, I used to work at Bronx years ago, right? These guys would come in, they'd be like, hey man, I want to do this to my kayak, blah, blah, blah. Never been in a kayak before, just bought the kayak while we were talking. Can you install all this stuff for me? I'm like, man, you probably want to go fishing in it first. Like, nah, man, I want to get it fully rigged, take it home, and I want to go fishing so fast. Okay, they go fishing, come back next week, man, I want my fish finder over here now. Go fishing, find out where you want stuff. Everyone is different. Don't listen to anybody else. Figure out where you want it, and then rig your kayak after that. Matt says he's blown so much money trying to figure out what works for him. It's true, man. You can spend a lot of money really quick by just adding stuff without thinking about it. So take your time, buy less. Less is more. Yeah, wasted a lot of time with the pulley system. Yeah, anchor trolley, all that stuff, man. A lot of that stuff it's cool, it's cute. Josh says he has a few boxes of garbage. A lot of that stuff you don't use, man. Like, you just don't use it. Leroy says the only thing he's gonna permanently rig is the fish finder. Everything else, watching videos, reviews, so I actually go due to the videos, our videos he stumbled upon. Yeah, I appreciate you watching the videos. You know, I try to do this. Once we started the kayak business, started running so many charters. It was like 3 or 4 years ago now. Kind of got away from answering people's questions. So the goal with all this, the YouTube videos in general, were just to answer questions, right? Just to try to, we'll say, connect to people, get back into that tackle shop mentality. Maybe people used to come into Bronx all the time and ask me questions, and I answer their questions, and I still get a ton of messages on phone all the time, whether it's on a business page or YouTube or just via Messenger. And I was like, I'm just gonna record all the videos so I don't have to answer the same question 7 times a week. I appreciate you watching though. Yeah, Derek, the live feed will be up later. Just got in. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't plan on deleting it or anything. Okay, so it should upload automatically after this video, I assume. Who's all still watching? So there's 9 people in here, right? So Matt, Josh, Derek, Leroy, Curtis. It doesn't tell me who's actually watching. That's cool. What other questions we got? We'll get the last 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll turn this stuff off. Make them real good, like real good questions. All right. Tournaments for beginners. All right, that's a solid question. I'll tell you that tournaments is a great way to stress yourself out for no reason and stop yourself from enjoying the things that you actually enjoy about it. Right? It'll ruin it for you, in my opinion, a lot of times. 1, I won't say that. We'll go 2. 2 is this long day, right? So say you want to go fishing for 4 hours or something, right? Well, if you gotta launch the kayak at safe light, whenever the tournament deems safe light. Say lines are out at 2 or 3 o'clock, weigh-ins at 3 o'clock, and weigh-in takes 2 hours. Award ceremony's at 5 o'clock. You pay $50 to enter. Somehow first place only makes $300. You just spent, I don't know, 12 plus hours before you get home. Your day turns into 14 hours. By the time you get home, get stuff put away. It's a long day, man. Think about that. Just think about that. You could have went fishing twice, cleaned your boat, did all these things, relaxed, not cared about it, and so on. So I would enjoy it before you put pressure on it, right? It changes everything. What do you look for when floating over flats? Do you blind cast every pothole? Second tournament puts you fishing at certain times, takes fun out of it for me. Yeah, it's a social event. I agree. I don't know, it's kind of take the fun out of it for me. I can go on about it, I'm not going to. I'll probably hurt someone's feelings, so I just won't do it. Let's see. Floating over the flats, do you blind cast every grass pothole? It really depends on the time of day, what we're seeing as far as bait. A lot goes into it, right? It's not always the best answer, but yeah, most of the time, there's no reason not to cast the pothole, in my opinion. But it's not the only thing we key in on. There's a lot of stuff. I just did this trip yesterday, the learning trip, and it's really, there's too many details to ever express in a video. Everything, you have to see it. It's all hands-on. Do this, do that, do this right now. If you miss by 3 seconds, you don't catch a fish. If you see something, you don't react to it, and that lure doesn't land within a foot of where it happened, you don't catch that fish. So, really a lot of details that go into it. But yeah, you might as well pass every pothole. It's not gonna hurt anything. That is for sure. All right, last question. Make it a good one. Leroy, what's your thoughts on tournaments now? What's your thoughts on tournaments now if you're seeing them? I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying a lot of times your time can be used in a way that you'll enjoy it more. I'm just going to wait for Leroy's answer, and then we'll wrap this video up. Like I talked about before, there's a discount code for 10% off. So if you do need some lures or anything like that, we have our pre-order performance shirts up there still. The shirts are awesome. We're going to get those ordered up later on. If I don't have a full day to kill, I won't go. Yeah. Thanks, Nick. By American. I agree. Thank you for watching, Curtis. Thanks for ordering those lures earlier. I saw the order this morning. You can come shoot me a text, we'll get you to pick them up. What are you looking forward to when quarantine's up? Gosh, sounds like you live in a movie, right? Uh, I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'll be honest with you. Uh, we have built a pretty darn successful charter business, and watching it falter because of a virus kind of killed my motivation, man. I'll be honest with you, kind of killed my motivation to go fishing. It's kind of crazy to watch a virus stopped it in its tracks. Makes you reevaluate what you do with your life. So yeah, I would say I'm just looking forward to no one getting sick and things returning to normal. So I like fishing with people. I like fishing with the clients. We have awesome relationships with people. We've had to cancel a ton of trips that I fish with these people every single year. I have for years, and it's kind of weird. So yeah, I look forward to the world going back to normal. Before kids, if I didn't go fishing 3 or 4 days a week, it was a bad week. They're darn kids, right? I'm just kidding. Although they're a blessing, they do change your priorities. That's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If you have additional questions about this stuff, or ideas for the next one, or any other feedback about the video angle, audio, stuff like that, shoot me an email at nick@navarrekayakfishing.com, or just message the business page on Facebook or YouTube or however. I'm sure I'll get it eventually, right? My Friday night. I don't even know what day of the week it is most of the time, Matt. So yeah, I guess I gave you my Friday, but whatever, it's worth it. Yeah, any questions though, just let me know. Any feedback, I look forward to seeing it. I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk over there behind the camera, and I'm going to turn this off somehow. It might take a few seconds. Thanks for watching. Oh. Thanks, Leroy. I'm going to try to turn this off, but I don't know how. I'm failing.